Alright, so today we're going to take a break from the Porsche. We're going to go back to the review side. This review is going to be very interesting because this is a recent purchase. As you saw from the blinds opening there, guess which car we're going to review, which purchase I actually made. The import, of course, and the fairly cheap import. What you were looking at there was a 2013 Volkswagen Tiguan. It is the 2.0 liter TSI 4MATIC. My wife really wanted. She wanted cloth seats. She hates leather. She didn't want heated seats either. She doesn't care about rims. This was very something specific that she wanted. Now, when she said that she wanted something at first, we were looking at Touaregs, we're looking at XC90s, looking at Land Rovers, different things, but all those cars were just too big for city life. And my wife's not a very big person, so she's really small. She likes to be able to see around the vehicle. And when I saw this car, it was the perfect fit for her. And I surprised her. She didn't know anything about it. I brought it home and she loved it. So we're going to do a review because not only does she love it, I love it. And when you see the seating position, the amount of space on the inside, believe it or not, it reminds you of old Bugs that had all that space on the inside. It's a lot bigger than the pictures show. I did some comparisons between this Honda CR-V, other cars of that size in the back seat. Everything was telling me, no, don't get this car. It's way too small. And I have friends with CR-Vs and other small SUVs. When I got in it, it is much bigger than what I thought it was. The back seat space, it was amazing. So let me stop talking. Let's get to the review. This is going to be an interesting one because this is a snow review. And many of you may not know this, but I'm not from Michigan. So I'm from the South and from California. I'm not used to snow. So it's perfect that I got this car right before the big snow happened. So let's watch. Okay, so now sitting inside the car, I just want to show you a few things. Number one, if you look right here, there's nothing in my knee area, right? Nothing in a small, compact car that would cause me to have to lean my knee up against something over a long trip would damage my knee. Her old car, Honda Civic, was terrible for that. I made sure that that wasn't possible. Also, the cabin is very nicely appointed. I mean, it's got more than enough air vents. I mean, oh my God, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's also a couple in the back, right by the center console, which makes it nice. Also, you look in here, I love this gauge readout. Volkswagen, I think, does a very good job with making things clean, intelligent, and simple. And I mean, the amount of menu items that you can go through. If I want to toggle to the left, I got Bluetooth, I got average fuel consumption, all the stuff that you would normally need, which I'm still figuring out. But on top of that, it lets you choose other information. Another tire pressure, service, factory sets. There was a area that I got into here which had a whole bunch of other options available. I love this setup. It's so clean, so simple, and it's perfect. Even down to where these are located for the windows, just the area. I don't have to go searching down way down here or doing anything like that. They're just lined up perfectly. They're all nice hard plastics. Not like in some of the Audis that stuff rubs off on. I just love the utility of this car, but at the same time it doesn't look cheap. Nice leather wrapped steering wheel, which I do like very much. Like I said, Bluetooth audio. I like the graphics and display of this. It's actually pretty nice. I'm going to make sure I lower it. Wait, am I using the right one? Maybe not. Or maybe I can't lower it with the system off. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to turn it on because I don't want music to show up, but let's do it anyway. Boom. Oh, so that's what I have to do. And then I can turn down the sound. I just like the graphics, how clean this particular unit is over the previous year. It had the larger screen with the touch, everything you can touch. I think that might have been an upgrade, but this is just very nice and simple. And your aux jack is of course located in here. Your parking brake is down here. I'll tell you about a story later which got me into some trouble. That's where everything is there. You can turn off. And so you see where I'm sitting here in the driver's seat. Again, I'm about 6'2". I'm more long-legged than anything else. And you see I have plenty of space. One thing I'm going to note though is it took me forever to find out how to turn on, just looking in the rearview mirror there, that rear windshield wiper. I couldn't. I was like, well, where's the button? Well, where's the button? Well, where's the button? Well, where's the button? And I'm pretty good with this kind of stuff. You actually have to push this back in order to do it, and that's it's Volkswagen-ish, but it's not very easy to see. Forward, of course, pulls your fluid on the windshield, but back does that, so that's pretty cool. Now what I want to do is just show you again the amount of space that this thing has. Again, I told you how tall I am. You see I have plenty of knee room. Let's move to the back seat. This is me in the back seat of this car. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Plenty of room to go underneath. Plenty of side room. Again, nicely appointed. I have a car seat over here right next to me, but it's not right on me. Look at that. Look at that shoulder amount of space. That's not a small car seat. I can't believe it. I really can't. Not again. You have your vents down here that control the air that flows to the back seat, 12 volt, just like anything else. But the back, and then look at the headspace. I'm going to turn the camera around for a second. I mean, look at my headspace. I got plenty of headspace. Yeah, okay, I'll hit something there eventually, but I'm not going to get knocked into it so quickly. It's crazy. Now, you do sacrifice a little bit in the back there. You don't have a huge trunk, but we don't carry a lot of things. This is perfect. If you need to, you can get the perfect, when you lay the seats down, and everything folds flat, which is also really nice about this car. I'll show you too in a second. These seats, I believe it's right here with this bar. You could pull it. Usually you can pull it. It's kind of hard for me to do, but they're slidable. Hold on, I'm gonna put the phone down. Boom, boom. See, you can see they're totally slidable. And they're not that hard. I'm just a weak guy. But then on top of that, these can fold. They can stop here, and you can recline them all the way back again. I mean, incredible. So we're off, leaving the neighborhood here, and as you can see, there is some snow on the ground. Again, this is probably about a couple inches. I said before the big snow. That doesn't mean it's a huge snow, just the first major one of the year. And you know, from the first turn, I immediately started getting confidence in the car. I mean, you can turn right here, and you can see I'm still being very ginger, very slow with it, but I mean, the car, already I can tell there's a difference between this and the other things that I've driven in those couple of turns. Now we're coming up to a stop sign here. This is a left, kind of uphill. If you don't have good tires, I know sometimes I can fishtail, but the car just, look at that. Just go straight up with it without an issue. Again, this car has brand new tires on it, so I mean, I'm looking like everything should be pretty good. And I'm noticing here that at least the conditions don't look that great, because cars are actually driving pretty slow by. So it should be a good test. It should be a very good test for this car. Again, the seating position allows you to see very well, so you feel confident. You don't have huge pillars to me, which can hide things in between. And right there, I turned, got on, no slippage, no anything. The car's pretty stable. Everything is looking good. You can see some people over there taking a walk. And what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to probably just head over to this mall right over here. And that way, if we have some areas with unplowed snow, we can try some donuts. So now we're traveling around the outer loop of the mall itself. Yeah, even though it's snowing, it doesn't look too bad. Again, this can be kind of slushy conditions, which those are just as bad when you have slushy conditions to where if you have a lot of snow on the ground. But I'm going to turn in right here. And I'm just kind of perusing, looking around. It's a little disappointing. Wish I would have saw a little bit more snow sitting around everywhere. Something higher, made a glory video. Oh, can't do anything right there. There goes a mall cop. So we're just going to ease right by, sir. And no, we're just going shopping. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going shopping. Not at all. So, yeah. But again, getting back to my point, just as a quick discussion, you know, as I mentioned before, we looked at a lot of other cars. We looked at the Touareg. The Touareg seemed very exciting. It seemed like something that we wanted. We looked at the Land Rover. We're looking at the LR3, thinking maybe that was a car that was good enough. It had some nice seating and nice areas, and I kind of liked it. I didn't like the cabin as much, you know, but yeah, go ahead. You can walk by. It's no problem. I'm not in a rush. But you know, we looked at those cars. I think I looked at the Porsche Cayenne. You know, and the cars were just too big for our taste. It's only a family of 3, and yeah, and you too. You can come on by. I'm not worried about it. But those were just, I thought about it, and Land Rovers have a lot of problems with their control arms. I mean, I watched a Doug DeMuro video of his Range Rover, got scared to death, and decided to stay away from it. We also liked the Volvo XC90, but I just couldn't find a decent used one without a lot of miles on it. People drive those cars hard. Those seem to hold up well if you can get one, because I see a lot of them in the 180, 190,000 mile areas, which means, you know, the car just drives and it runs. So if you find one much lower miles, I think you have a good assured expectation is that the car is going to always run and be fairly easy to maintain. So yeah, I looked at this car, and I was scared of its size on the inside. I didn't want to get something too small. I'm trying to get away from like the Honda Civic feel again, and so that's what got us here and got me to the test drive and to the buy. I think oh, there's an XC90 right there. I think that we're now gonna have a little opportunity to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, we got a little area over here. I'm not a big snow guy, but look at that. Oh, wow. It's got really good handling. Let's try to do a little donut. Yeah, okay. And I'm really surprised. I was really surprised. Now, this is a pretty terrible donut, but we get a little faster. We have a little bit more for, yay, I'm having fun. Look, everybody. The car, you saw it, it didn't slide. It didn't have big problems. It wasn't inconsistent where it slid and then stopped and then gained. It was very mature, and that gives me a lot of confidence. I got a lot of confidence right off the bat from driving this car, I tell you. And, you know, I really love it. I love it. 200 or something. Now I'm going uphill. Look at this uphill. I had to stop for a second because the person in front of me is driving a Toyota, is driving slower. No traction loss. 0. I am a fan. A fan. Look at this. Let me just... I'm over the top. I know, people. I'm over the top here. This is a lot. This is a lot to take in. And you're looking at it like, this guy, there's no snow on the ground. And now we've got to my storage area. It doesn't look like they plowed anything at all, which, if you look in, it looks like a good 3 inches or so of snow. Again, not a whole lot yet, but hey, this is a little bit more of the fun stuff. We turn this corner here, look at that. Oh yeah, it's unplowed. And this is like the commercials that I always see and I look at, you know, where they talk about, oh, they're selling these points. It actually works. Let's go around that corner. Not even scared at all. Look, I'm just twitching it a little bit back and forth just to find where the area is where it gets loose, and it doesn't. It's just like driving on regular asphalt. I mean, it's amazing that it works that good. So here I'm at my storage unit, and I had to go pick up something real quick, but you definitely see the capability of this car. All right, guys, so as a conclusion to the video, I just want to go back to that parking brake for a second and tell you of an interesting experience I had with it. After we got the car, I noticed the tire pressure was a little low. So I went to bring the car in the garage and pump up the tires with my little compressor you plug into the cigarette lighter. Well, I didn't want to leave the garage door open and the car running, so I said I could do it on the battery by itself, right? It shouldn't be a problem. I do it in the Mercedes all the time. Well, when you turn the car on, the headlights are still on even though the car's not started, and I thought that could drain the battery. I don't want to do that. So I used that little parking brake, pulled it up to turn off those lights to save the battery. But about 2.5 tires in, because this tire's need a little bit of air, the pump started slowing. I realized, uh-oh, I'm running the battery dead. I went to try to start the car. I was too late. The car was dead. Different from other German cars, this car doesn't have a battery in the trunk, so I couldn't access it and just back a car up to it. It was in the front. So I said, oh boy, I'm going to have to push the car. So I put the window down. So I still had enough juice to put the window down. And I went to go ahead and back out the car. But wait, the parking brake's on. So I went to release the parking brake, but it's an electric parking brake and the battery's dead. So the car was stuck in the garage. Progressive has this funny thing about, even though I put roadside assistance on the car, you have to wait 5 days before it can actually activate and you can use it. And I don't have a battery charger, so I had to take the battery out the car and charge it with another car. It was a long process. Just letting you guys know, don't fall into that pitfall. So watch out for that parking brake. But again, other than that, it's been a great car so far. I hope you guys like this. If you do, subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think, and we'll keep going. Thanks. Take care, guys.